And now for your regularly scheduled Mario & Luigi video. No, I will never shut up about this series, nor ALPHADREAM. Today, we asked the question, who will continue the series? Who will develop it exactly? A few months ago, I did not have the answer for this outside of a few likely options. Obviously, I don't know for certain. No one does outside of Nintendo. But I'm very confident in the answer I found. Although, just for the sake of looking at all perspectives, we'll take a look at a lot of options. Firstly, while this isn't necessarily a studio, a lot of people are intrigued by the idea of ALPHADREAM coming back. While it is technically possible, I think they did all they could. The developers consisted of a lot of veterans who were there from the start, and an influx of newer devs from when the company was doing a lot of hiring from 2017 to 2019. Why didn't they have these hirings during the years where they didn't have enough money to sustain themselves? That's a really good question. Anyways, a lot of higher management likely retired by the time the company went under. Even if they did come back, it wouldn't be the same. ALPHADREAM was incredible with what they did, making stunning games with great gameplay, but not having the majority of devs back means that ALPHADREAM wouldn't be back. It would be a shell of its former self. Most employees have already been credited on other games from different studios and have moved on, whether it's back at Square Enix, Arzest, so it's pretty unlikely that we're getting them back. Now, let's talk about Square. A lot of ALPHADREAM devs did originate from there after all, and they specialize in RPGs as of recent, so why not? I don't know much about Square, so it's hard for someone like me to say, but outside of a one-time game, like the Mario RPG remake, I don't think they'd have the existing resources, nor dedicated division to making Mario & Luigi. Nintendo's relationship with Square may be improved with the Mario RPG remake, but I won't say their relationship is at that point. Monolith Soft is another idea, a studio that already works with Nintendo a lot and specializes in Xenoblade, which is an RPG series. I think Monolith would be a pretty good pick. It's a studio that would definitely be a change of pace for Mario & Luigi, as they haven't solely developed as many light-hearted games. Although Monolith would be a pretty good pick. They know their way around RPGs, how to craft a good story, and have worked on several Nintendo projects before, like Splatoon 3 and Tears of the Kingdom. They work on several types of genres outside of Xenoblade and have multiple divisions. As of now, it seems the Xenoblade story has reached an end to the main storyline from the first game to the third game. So why not shake things up a bit and work on Mario & Luigi while they try and figure out what they're doing with the next story arc of Xenoblade. A company that helped ALPHADREAM with Dream Team was Goodfeel. They're the developers of the modern Yoshi games, take that how you will, and Miitopia. We don't currently know what they're working on next, as their last major games were back in 2019. They might be the ones developing Princess Peach Showtime, but I'm hesitant to say that for sure yet. I think they'd be a pretty great pick. The way they handled the Mario & Luigi art style and transformed it into 3D was amazing. They handled the models really well overall. The concerning factor is that they aren't as well known for story-driven games nor RPGs. But Mario & Luigi is on the much more tame side and casual side, as it's not as advanced as traditional RPGs and the stories aren't too complex. But we'll just have to see. I'm assuming ALPHADREAM couldn't get Goodfeel back for the giant battles in the Bowser's Inside Story remake because they got Arzest to handle the giant battles. Also, fun fact, one of the Sonic creators got to work on the remake, being the production manager. Arzest's most recent game was Sonic Superstars, and in general, they've had a very spotty track record, including Balan Wonderworld. But I think they have potential to make a really great game within time needed. They've just been in a lot of unfortunate circumstances, but as proven by Sonic Superstars, while the game does have its lows, it's clear that there's talent in the game. Another idea is Nintendo internally developing the series at one of their EPD studios. The only real problem is who would be capable and able to do that. EPD 3 is Zelda, they wouldn't. EPD 4 handles odd jobs like Nintendo Labo. EPD 5 is incredibly busy with Animal Crossing and Splatoon. EPD 7 is another odd job group. EPD 8 is the Mario team, which they wouldn't have the time for it. EPD 9 seems to only be doing Mario Kart and ARMS, but doesn't seem like it fit them. And EPD 10 handles Pikmin and 2D Mario. Overall, a lot of them are pretty occupied with their own projects, and even the odd job departments would likely be doing their own wacky, innovative new projects instead of the traditional games. EPD 1, 2, and 6 collaborate with other companies, and to my knowledge, none have solely developed the game in recent memory. EPD 2 is the collaborating team with Mario & Luigi, so they would likely be involved. They were even involved in the Mario RPG remake. But since they also have to assist on the franchises like Mario sports games and Mario Party, they themselves likely wouldn't be able to develop it primarily by themselves. So unless the studios are really expanding, I don't see EPD making their own in-house Mario & Luigi game. Unless it's EPD 2, but they need to sacrifice assisting on a lot of other games, which I don't think would be ideal. In case you haven't heard at this point, Art Piazza were the developers of the Mario RPG remake, and they did a marvelous job. The remake was so incredibly faithful to the original, I could go on for days about every little detail they kept, or made even better. Art Piazza does primarily work for and with Square Enix, as they're the developers of various Dragon Quest games. I think out of every available studio, Art Piazza is the one. The only problem is they don't have the closest of relationships with Nintendo, and Square might not like the idea. Although Art Piazza has made games for the Wii, DS, and Switch before, so I wouldn't necessarily say it's out of the realm for possibility. It's clear Art Piazza is passionate about Mario, based on how they adapted Mario RPG. It's a passion that reminds me of the same passion that ALPHADREAM put into the Mario & Luigi games. They pour their heart and souls into the creativity, the sprite art, and writing. They already have the experience with working on RPGs, so just give them a budget and let them cook. They are my top pick for a developer of the future of Mario & Luigi, likely followed by Goodfeel. We do know the original director of Super Mario RPG and one of the heads at ALPHADREAM until late 2015, Chihiro Fujioka, is still making games. If there's a new Mario & Luigi game, he'd likely be involved. Although he may not have been involved in the remake of Mario RPG or even known of its existence, it's still entirely possible he's been helping out on the next entry for the series with whoever's continuing it. I feel like I shouldn't have to clarify this every few months at this point, but no, Mario & Luigi is not dead. Remember, Nintendo owns all rights to the series, all original characters, all the games, and everything else. The only ones quote-unquote dead are ALPHADREAM. If the next game in the series is developed by a company that doesn't know what they're doing and it ends up being horrible, then I'll say it's dead. If Mario & Luigi is dead, it'll be from a lack of soul, a lack of heart, and a lack of passion. That's what made Mario & Luigi, Mario & Luigi. We even recently got more fuel to add to the fire. Another Code Recollection is a collection of the Another Code games developed by King, another developer that primarily worked in Nintendo only to go bankrupt in 2010. It's unclear who's developing this remake, but Nintendo is heavily involved seemingly. If games like Another Code will get remade, despite the developers being gone, Nintendo can for Mario & Luigi any day of the week. We just need patience. It's only been, what, 4 years? Okay, obviously the series will be on hiatus. The developers are gone. Nintendo is shifting their main efforts towards big games for the launch of the Switch's successor. They'll be able to develop the next Mario & Luigi game when they can cool down again. For now, let's just try and be patient and look forward to things like the Thousand Year Door remake. And that's all for today. Thank you for watching.